7 a.m., John and Blanche Bickerson are in the breakfast room, which is also the living room and bedroom of their spacious one-room apartment. Mrs. Bickerson chatters as husband John, ignoring his breakfast, attentively reads the morning paper.
Why won't you answer me, John? If you take your head out of the paper for a minute, you'd hear what I'm saying.
Always hear what you're saying.
You do not. I might just as well be talking to a stone wall. You never listen to me. Your mind is always a million miles away. John. I've been signed up to go 10 rounds with Joe Lewis at Madison Square Gardens. Yesterday, the plumber discovered a radium mine under the bathroom sink. I put a nice big gob of poison in your orange juice this morning. Give me $7 to buy a new hat.
You don't need a new hat.
It's a funny thing, but the minute I start talking about money, you can hear me just fine.
I always hear you, Blanche. What did you say?
I asked you why you came home so late last night.
I was working, Blanche. I told you I had to work overtime. Pour me some more coffee.
That's tea. Did you get paid?
I'll get paid.
What time did you get home?
12:30.
If you got home at 12:30, why were you so long in coming to bed? I know for a fact you didn't go to bed until almost 2.
I was in the kitchen putting the stuff away.
What stuff?
What's the matter, Blanche? You know you told me to bring stuff home for the party this afternoon. Your sister Clara's arriving from Chicago today, and you told me to bring stuff. Well, I brought stuff.
Did you bring the potatoes for the potato salad?
I brought potatoes.
Did you pare them?
I pared them.
All of them?
All except one. It had a big knob on top, and I couldn't find a mate for it.
I meant, did you...
I know what you meant, Blanche. I peeled the potatoes. I even boiled them last night. They're in the icebox. Oh, holy smoke, look at the time. Where's my hat?
You're wearing it. What about your breakfast?
What about it?
It's sitting there right in front of you, and you never even looked at it.
Oh, I looked at it.
Well, aren't you going to eat it?
No, give it to your sister.
What's the matter with it?
I never saw such stringy oatmeal in all my life.
That isn't oatmeal. It's chow mein.
Chow mein? Who eats chow mein for breakfast?
Well, I don't know what to give you. You won't eat normal breakfast food. You turn up your nose at stewed rabbit. You say you can't stand the sight of enchiladas, and you hate meatballs and spaghetti. What can I give you for breakfast?
What's the matter with an egg, Blanche? An egg! That's all. Why can't I have an egg? There's plenty of ducks around.
You're the only man in town who eats duck eggs. I don't know where to buy them.
Don't buy them. Oh, I don't like to eat breakfast. I never have an appetite in the morning anyway. I gotta go, Blanche. It's late.
Here's a clean handkerchief, John. John, can't you take the afternoon off?
What for?
Well, I think it's only proper for you to be here when Clara, Barney, and the children arrive. We're the only relatives they've got, and you've never even seen them.
I'll see them tonight.
Can't you come home a little earlier? I'm sure they won't miss you if you take a few hours off. You're not that vital.
I know it, but I don't want them to find out. My job is hanging by a thread now.
I wish you'd find something more dignified anyway.
What do you mean dignified? I'm getting paid, and that's all I care about.
Well, I don't like going around telling people that I'm married to a billiard ball salesman.
Bowling balls!
All right, bowling balls. I still think you could do better if you look around.
Goodbye, Blanche.
John?
What's the matter?
That's a fine way to leave. Haven't you forgotten something?
Oh, handkerchief, cigarettes, order blanks. Nope, I've got everything.
I mean, is that a way for a man to say goodbye to his wife? Just goodbye?
Oh, honey, I can't shake hands with you now. I've got my fingers stuck in these bowling balls.
Oh, goodbye. Did you like the chicken, Barney?
Too much salt in it.
Oh, Let me take those bones off your plate.
How about some more potato salad, Barney?
Too many potatoes in it.
Isn't it awful to be married to a man like that, Blanche? He won't eat potato salad with potatoes in it. I have to fool him. I make it with turnips.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, Clara. Well, it's certainly good to see you after all these years. Did you have a good trip?
Fine.
Well, I'll see.
How can you say that, Barney? It was a wonderful trip, and the children loved it.
4 of us in an upper berth?
Oh, it wasn't that bad at all, Blanche, honest. None of us are big people, and little Ernie, he slept in the clothes hammock.
2-year-old kid. She lets him wander all over the train by himself.
Well, I couldn't take care of everything, Barney.
When the train stopped at Albuquerque, the kid locked himself in the washroom and wouldn't come out. The conductor was pounding on the window, but that was locked too.
Well, what happened to him?
We found him later, walking around under the train. Still can't figure out how he got there.
Did little George behave himself on the trip?
Oh, he was just a little angel. He can be an awfully good boy when he wants to. He seemed really pleased to get off at Pasadena and visit with Barney's sister, didn't he, Barney?
No.
Well, your sister seemed pleased. They should be here pretty soon. Blanche, how long does it take to get here from Pasadena?
By train?
Yeah.
Well, John works there and it never takes him over 45 minutes. I thought George was going to stay in Pasadena for a while.
Well, I thought so too. But after Eunice took a look at him, she said she'd bring him back this evening.
Which one of you two is older?
What?
Oh, stop it, Barney. He wants to know everybody's age.
Well, Claire's my older sister. Didn't you know that, Barney?
No, I didn't know that. You look way older than Chris.
Really?
That's just his left-handed way of paying me compliments, Blanche. Barney, why don't you go back to the apartment and see if little Ernie's still sleeping? I'll stay here and wait for George.
Okay, I better take a little nap myself. I might have to look for a job next week. What's the number of that apartment house?
It's 214, first apartment on the left. Go ahead.
I'll take the chicken bones for Ernie. He's teething.
You know, Clara, I had completely forgotten what Barney was like. He's awful little for a husband, isn't he?
Well, he may be small, but he's wiry.
Sort of outspoken, isn't he?
You know, I'd rather have a man be frank about things than say one thing and mean the other. Is John still as short-tempered as ever?
Well,
Barney used to be that way before the children came. They changed everything. We haven't had a cross word since George was born.
is that so?
Blanche, I've often wondered, why don't you and John...
Oh, no, Clara, we can't afford it. I even thought of adopting a child, but there's so much red tape attached to it. They want to know how much you've got in the bank, what your husband does for a living, who your grandparents were. Honestly, trying to adopt a baby is almost as hard as getting an FHA loan.
Well, all I can tell you, Blanche, is that your married life would be much happier. You'd be surprised what a change would come over John if there was a child in the house.
I know. A lot of people have told me that, Clara.
Blanche, I was just thinking, that apartment you got for us, it's rather small for 4 people.
Well, it's the best I can do, Clara, and it's only temporary.
I know, dear, but I was just thinking, why don't you let little George live with you for a while?
George?
Yeah, we'd be killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Our apartment would be less crowded, and, well, there'll be a big change in your married life.
Maybe you're right, Clara. I'll call John at the office and tell him we're going to have a baby.
Hello. Hackman Bowling Alley Equipment Company.
Could I talk to Mr. Bickerson, please?
Not in, hasn't come off his route yet.
Will you please leave word with him to call his wife as soon as he gets here?
Okay.
Thank you. Goodbye.
For the love of Pete, look out where you drop those samples, Bickerson.
I couldn't carry them another minute. Why doesn't that cheap buzzard buy us cases for the darn things? My fingers look like a bunch of bananas.
Call your wife. She just called here.
Yeah,
Do any good today?
a waste of shoe leather. I can't understand it. Here it is, the height of the Christmas season, and nobody is buying bowling balls.
Nothing doing, huh?
No. Where is he?
He went home early. It's been murder here today.
The old man don't bother me. He just lets off steam. His bark's worse than his bite.
Well, he bit a few salesmen today.
So what? They come and they go. I've been here 12 years.
Uh-huh.
Business had been bad before. Last year he lined up 10 salesmen. Took an 18-pound two-holer and chalked up a spare. I was the only salesman left standing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was. He knows a good thing when he sees one.
Uh-huh. Here's your pay envelope, Bickerson.
Pay envelope? Today isn't payday.
It is for you.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. You got the axe.
Holy smoke!
Don't take it so hard. I'll probably be next.
No, I don't care for myself. It's what my wife's gonna say. She'll blow her cork.
What for? It's only a job.
Oh, you don't understand. She's got her relatives here from Chicago. She's already figured on her Christmas shopping, and I haven't got 50 cents in the bank.
Well, I wish I could help you, Bickerson, but...
Yeah, well, I tell you, I'm afraid to go home and face her. Do me a favor, will you, Marv?
Sure. What do you want me to do?
Call up my wife and tell her.
You want me to tell her you were fired?
Yes, but break the news very gently. First tell her I dropped dead, then gradually work up to it.
Bob!
Let me have a paper, will you, son? Quick, here. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me. I'm sorry. Is this seat taken, Sonny? Sonny, is this seat taken?
No.
Well, would you mind taking your feet off?
Okay.
Those packages, too.
Huh?
Would you please take those packages off the seat?
Just throw them on the floor.
Okay. Wise little monkey. Where's that help wanted page?
Huh?
Nothing. Accountant. Artist. Automobile salesman. Baker. Barber. Bartender. Bookkeeper. Bartender? Bartender?
What do you have?
Mind your own business.
Excuse me, you're sitting in my seat.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry, madam. Your son told me it wasn't taken.
He's not my son.
And I didn't tell him it was taken either.
What?
I told him somebody was sitting here and he knocked all your packages on the floor.
You told me this seat wasn't taken, and you told me to throw the packages on the floor.
I did not.
You did too.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself trying to blame that little child.
You can have my seat, lady. I'm going to the smoking car.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I really am. Let me pick up those packages for you.
Never mind, I'll get them myself. The very idea. Oh, who did that?
He did it. I seen him pinch you.
Pinch who? What's the matter with you, you little muzzler?
You just wait till the conductor comes by here.
Oh, sit down here, dear. I didn't like his look from the minute he got on.
I know the type. My husband's a correction officer.
What did you do that for?
Huh?
Why'd you tell that lady I pinched her? And why'd you tell me this seat wasn't taken? What did you tell me all those lies for?
Give me my bubble gum.
What bubble gum? I haven't got your bubble gum.
You have to. It's stuck to your pants.
Why, you... Look at that. How am I going to get that off?
Give me my bubble gum.
Keep quiet till I get my knife out.
I want my bubble gum.
Stop pulling at my pants! Oh, that's fine. That's just fine.
I want my bubble gum.
Why don't you give the child his bubble gum?
He ripped my trousers!
Well, he put a knife on me.
Shut up, you little weasel!
Hey, what's going on here? You looking for trouble, buddy?
Now, wait a minute.
That man is a lunatic. He tried to stab that child.
You're out of your mind!
Somebody pull the emergency cord!
Oh, dear. I should have stabbed that little brat. Kids. No wonder tigers eat their young.
John Bickerson, what happened to you? Your pants are torn. You're covered in dust. Where have you been? I've been calling the office for hours.
I got put off the train, and I walked all the way home from Glendale.
Well, what happened?
I don't want to talk about it. I don't even want to think about it. All I want to do is go to bed.
Oh, you poor dear. And I have such a wonderful surprise for you.
Surprise.
Yes, we're going to be the happiest couple in the world, and all because of my sister Clara.
What are you talking about?
George, come out and meet your new daddy. Well, what do you think of him, John?
Oh, no!
Go on, Sonny. Kiss him.
Not me. That's the crook who stole my bubble gum.
The Bickersons have retired. Blanche Bickerson tosses restlessly in the dark as poor husband John, unstrung by the events of the day and suffering an attack of raucous insomnia, or Blaster's phenomenon, engages in another losing battle with the dreaded ailment. Listen.
Oh, dear. Oh, this is awful. I can't stand it. John! John! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Stop it, Blanche. What's the matter? What's the matter, Blanche?
There isn't another woman in the world who'd sacrifice her youth, her looks, to live with a man who rattles himself to sleep like a lot of old bones in a bag. What do you think I am, John?
Old bag.
What?
What? What did you say, Blanche?
I've never been so upset in all my life. Why couldn't the child live with us for a few weeks?
What child? Wait. Don't mention his name.
Well, you had no right to send him back to Clara. Clara and Barney are just sick about
I
it.
can well imagine. Let me sleep, Blanche.
I had him here for 2 hours before you got home, and he was a perfect angel. What if he did make a little trouble on the train? He's a boy, and all boys are kind of wild. Anyway, how did he know you were his uncle?
Oh, what kind of an excuse is that?
I'm sure if you just try to understand him, there wouldn't be any problem at all.
That's what you think.
I don't think I know.
I don't think you know either. The kid's gone. Now forget about him.
I won't forget about him, and you needn't have made such an exhibition when you hauled him down the street to his mother.
Ah,
That's no way to carry a boy, John.
well, I used to be a bowling ball salesman. Almost got my finger bit off.
What do you mean, used to be?
Didn't he tell you? Didn't Marv call you from the office?
Nobody called me from the office. What happened?
I got fired.
Oh, John, what did you do that for?
I didn't do it. The boss did it.
Well, he must have had a pretty good reason. I felt this coming for a long time, John. You haven't had your mind on your work.
Business was bad.
How can you say that? Prices are going up every day.
Well, nobody's buying.
That's not true. I'm buying twice as much as I ever did. Business isn't bad with me.
Good night, Blanche.
No, if you didn't do any business, it's because you weren't concentrating on your work. You just lost your ambition. You're not the man I married, John. Whatever happened to your get up and go?
It got up and went.
I'll tell you what happened. You've lost interest in everything except that precious bourbon of yours.
Oh, now, just a minute, Blanche.
I married a great big corkscrew.
I resent that.
I don't care.
You can accuse me of not being a good salesman or not having ambition or anything else, but drinking is not one of my failures.
No, it's one of your few successes.
The only reason I use bourbon is because the doctor prescribed it. He said I would stop snoring if I took a jigger of bourbon and 2 aspirin every night.
That's not what you do, though.
Yes, it is.
It is not. You're 6 months behind on the aspirin and 2 years ahead on the bourbon.
Well, aspirin gives me a headache, and bourbon has nothing to do with me losing my job.
Then why did you get fired?
Because no man can serve 2 masters.
That's right. Blame me. Since when do I boss you around? You know very well I let you have your own way in almost everything I want.
You've been running me for years.
I have not.
It started right at the altar. When I said I do, you said, oh, no, you don't.
How can you lie there and deliberately desperately make up
Well,
such...
don't rile me up. If you just sympathize me when I get a bad break instead of hounding me, our marriage would work a lot better.
You're a fine one to talk about matrimony. You don't know the meaning of the word.
It's not a word. It's a sentence.
Oh, you poor thing. How you suffer. I didn't get such a bargain, you know. There's better fish in the ocean than the one I caught.
Yeah, well, there's better bait, too.
Then it's true. You don't love me and you never did.
Oh, I did, too.
What?
I do, too.
You don't. You don't. You don't.
Blanche, I do.
Well, you never say it.
I say it 1,000 times a day.
Well, say it now.
I love you.
Will you love me as long as I live?
Yes.
Swear. Swear you'll love me as long as you live.
Cross my heart and hope to die.
That has a double meaning.
Well, I only meant it one way.
It's really an effort for you to show any kind of affection for me, isn't it, John? Why are you so ashamed to tell me you love me?
I'm not ashamed, Blanche. I just can't seem to convince you, that's all. You know I love you so.
So what?
That's what I say. Who cares? Now put the lights out and go to sleep.
If only you'd let me know that you appreciate what I do for you.
Oh, you don't do so much for me.
Is that so? Who cooks for you? I do. Who cleans for you? I do. Who does your laundry?
The laundry.
Only once, and that was because the washing machine was broken. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have a clean shirt.
I haven't got a clean shirt.
You have too. I dusted one off yesterday.
Dusted it off is right. And you pressed the collar with a curling iron. Besides, I wore it today.
Today? What happened to the shirt you wore Tuesday?
I wore it Wednesday. And I was going to wear it again Saturday, but I spilled gravy on it Friday. So I cut the stain out and made a brown collar for my Sunday shirt.
Oh, stop complaining. You've got two lovely shirts.
One shirt. And it's not lovely. It hasn't even got a shirt tail.
You don't need a shirt tail. Just wear your pants higher.
I can't wear them any higher. I wear my pants so high now I have to unzip them to blow my nose.
I can just hear you raising your voice to Gloria Gooseby.
Oh, now don't start with Gloria Gooseby.
Believe me, if you were around her for a while, you'd cool off in a hurry.
I've been around her for hours and I never cool off. I despise Gloria Gooseby and I wouldn't have anything to do with her.
Then why does she keep staring at you like she's hypnotized?
She doesn't stare. It's just that she wears those outlandish dresses and they bring out her eyes.
They bring out yours, too. No wonder all the men gawk at her. All her gowns are strapless and backless. Would you like it if I wore a dress like that? Maybe I should. I wonder how I'd look in a gown that's strapless and backless.
Skinless and boneless.
I'll never forgive you for that remark, John Bickerson.
I'm sorry. I'm so tired I don't know what I'm saying. Why don't you put out the lights and let me go to sleep?
I'm leaving this house and I'm never coming back.
Blanche, wait a minute. Come back here. What's the matter with you?
It's no use, John. We'll keep fighting like this. I tried to make our lives more pleasant by bringing little George here, but you wouldn't have him.
All right, I'll go get him in the morning.
You say it, but you won't do it. Do it now.
What?
Go on, get up and bring George back.
Blanche, are you out of your mind? It's 4 o'clock in the morning.
Either you bring George back or I'm leaving.
Oh, nobody would believe this. Where's my clothes?
Just throw my kimono over your pajamas. They only live down the street, 214, the first apartment on the left.
I know I'll wake up and find this is all a bad dream.
Go on, take a flashlight so you don't have to put on the lights. I'll phone Clara and tell her you're coming.
$2.14. Where's 214? Wish they'd put some streetlights in this crummy neighborhood. Broken down flashlight's no good. Batteries are dead. Can't see the hand in front of your face.
Looking for something, fella?
Huh? Hello, officer. Shine that light around a little bit. I'm looking for number 214.
Do you live there?
No, just looking. Why?
Well, not everybody walks around at 4 o'clock in the morning wearing a pink kimono and carrying a bottle of bourbon.
Bottle of bourbon? Oh, no wonder it wouldn't turn on. Dear God, I almost threw it away.
What's that?
Well, I picked it up by mistake. I thought it was a flashlight. Oh, well, it's not a total loss. Will you join me, officer?
No, thanks. I'm on duty. 214's right on the corner. You better keep moving so you don't catch cold.
Yeah, I better wrap this bourbon around me a little tighter. Okay. First apartment on the left. I hope I don't wake anybody up. Wish I could put on the light. Where is the little dear? Oh, here he is, sleeping like an innocent newborn vulture. Well, here goes. Oh. This kid's heavier than I thought. Only another 10 yards.
Did you pick up a friend?
Oh, is that you, officer?
Yes, it's me. May I ask you what you got in that bundle?
Oh, it's my nephew. I'm bringing him home to my wife. Oh, it's a long story, officer. But I assure you, this is nothing anybody would want to steal.
Uh-huh. Well, you better watch out how you got those blankets wrapped around his head. He's liable to smother.
You think so? Oh, well, thanks, officer. Good night. Blanche, open up. He weighs a ton. Put on the lights.
No, it'll wake him. Keep your voice down.
What'll I do with him?
I've got the cot already in the kitchen. Put him down gently, John.
There. There's your new son. You've just become a mother. Are you satisfied?
Shh. Go on into your own bed. Now I can sleep.
What a day. I lost my job. I got thrown off a train. I delivered children at 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, dear.
Oh, John, must you start snoring as soon as you close your eyes?
Snoring? Who's snoring? I'm not snoring. It's that darn kid. That's who it is.
George?
Yes, George. Go turn him over on his side.
Well, I never. Turn over, George, dear. John!
What's the matter?
This isn't George. You brought back Barney.
Oh, why was I ever born?
That was the Bickersons here on the CBS Radio Network. Be sure to tune in next week at the same time for another episode starring Don Amici and Francis Langford. We now turn you over to your local affiliate for 15 minutes of news, weather, and sports. This is Will Carmichael speaking. All right, we're out. Take 15, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, your neighborhood good golf dealer joins the golf oil companies in presenting another program in this series of reviews, musical comedies, and dramatic shows, all the varied entertainment forms of Hollywood. So, welcome all of you to the Motion Picture Star's own program. Welcome to the Gulf Screen Guild Show. With Fanny Bryce, Bob Hope, Martha Ray, George Murphy, and Hanley Stafford, with music by Rick Pratt. Yay. And on with the show and our first Screen Guild star tonight, Martha Ray. Hello, Martha.
How do you do? Charmed to be here, I'm sure.
Now, wait a minute, Martha. That doesn't sound like you. Haven't you changed since the last time I saw you?
Oh, rather. You see, I'm a married woman now, and that makes one sort of comment va, n'est-ce pas?
Martha, you certainly have changed.
Exactly. Ask me a question, and I'll show you how I used to be.
All right. May I call on you tonight, Martha?
Oh, boy, you said wicked. Yahoo! That's how I used to be, Riley. Now ask me the same question today.
All right. May I call on you tonight, Martha?
Pray do. You see, I'm a lady.
Of course you're a lady.
Yes, I'm a perfect lady. And I'll wrestle anybody who says I ain't.
All right. Nobody denies it. To make you feel at home, I'll introduce you to a perfect little gentleman. Oh, Rick. Where are you, Rick?
I am, Mr. Carmichael. I'm over here.
Wait, don't tell me. Give me 3 guesses.
This is Rick Pratt, our esteemed piano accompanist. Where were you, Rick? You were supposed to be here by my side.
I was, but when Miss Ray yelled, she blew me into the balcony.
It's a lucky thing I didn't really yell, or you'd be hitchhiking from Pasadena.
Well, come on, Rick. I'll nail you down to your piano so you won't blow away while Martha Ray sings. It ain't necessarily so.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily so. Little David was small, but oh my. Little David was small, but oh my. He fought big Goliath, who lay down and died. Little David was small, but oh my.
All right. Very nice, Martha. Thank you very much. And now, a message from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, they say that seeing is believing. Well, tonight, I'd like to tell you about a time when hearing is believing. And that's when you hear the way Gulf no-knox gasoline quiets down your car and ends motor knocking. You've heard motor knocks in your car often enough, when driving up a steep hill, or when you accelerate suddenly. Well, just try a tank full of Gulf no-knocks. Drive up that steep hill or accelerate in the same way, and listen. With no-knocks in your tank, you don't hear the same annoying pinging at all. Instead, your motor gives you quieter, smoother, perfect performance almost immediately. And in the long run, you probably will save money on your upkeep expenses too. So won't you drive in tomorrow with the sign of the Gulf Orange Disc and just try one tankful of Gulf no-knocks gasoline.
Oh, Will?
What is it, Martha?
I never did get it straight. Just who's going to be on tonight?
Well, let's see. There's Bob Hope.
Oh, that's good.
And you.
Oh, that's marvelous.
And then there's Fanny Bryce as Baby Snooks.
You know, those are 2 of my favorite comedians.
Well, now wait a minute, Martha. Fanny Bryce is Baby Snooks, and Hanley Stafford is her daddy.
Really? Well, I gotta see that. Where is she? Where's Baby Snooks?
Well, she couldn't make it tonight, Martha, because her daddy is sick. But we've rigged up special wires to her home where her daddy is sick in bed with a nervous disorder. The doctor has just finished his examination. Our engineer will make a connection, and we'll listen.
Well, Doctor, do you think I'll be all right?
Oh, yes. The rash has almost disappeared. I'd advise you to stay in bed a few more days, though.
Well, I was a little worried about the work piling up at the office, so I had them send the dictaphone out.
I don't think that'll hurt. But stay as quiet as possible. Don't give that rash a chance to break out again.
I'll be careful, Doctor.
And above all, no excitement of any kind, remember?
Okay, Doctor.
Well,
no
I have to be
excitement.
running along now. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and thanks. Now let's see this mail. Guess I better answer this one first. Where's that dictaphone switch? Oh, here. Gentlemen, yours of the 15th instant received and contents noted. In reply, I would say...
Hello, Daddy.
Snooks! I've asked you not to disturb me this morning. I'm busy.
Was the doctor here, Daddy?
Yes, he just left. Now run along.
All right.
Gentlemen, yours of the 15th instant received and content.
Daddy?
Are you still there?
Did the doctor bring his little black bag?
Yes.
Have I been a good girl, Daddy?
Yes.
Daddy? Well, ain't you gonna let me see the baby?
There isn't any baby. Now, please, leave me alone. I'm supposed to have absolute quiet.
I want to stay here.
Snooks, the doctor said if I get excited, I'll break out in a rash. Now go away and let me get these letters off.
All right.
Gentlemen, yours of the 15th instant received.
Daddy?
What do you want?
Who you talking to?
I'm not talking to anybody. That is, I'm talking to my secretary, but she's not here.
Do you feel all right, Daddy?
Yes, I feel fine. And when I don't feel fine or feel all right, I'll take my medicine. Now leave me alone. Gentlemen, yours of the 15th.
Are you talking on the telephone?
No, this is a dictaphone. It's a dictating machine that plays records.
I don't hear no music.
It doesn't play music.
Then what's it for?
It's a machine that takes letters.
Like the mailman?
No.
Then where does it take them?
Nowhere! I mean, nowhere.
Can I see the letters, Daddy?
No, they're on the record.
What record?
The big black cylindrical thing, the letters recorded on it.
How you gonna get it in an envelope?
It doesn't have to go in an envelope.
Then how can you mail it?
I'm not going to mail it. Will you please leave the room and let me work?
Look it!
Look at what?
There's a strawberry on your face.
Gentlemen, yours of the 15th instant received and contents.
Daddy!
Oh, what's the use? Now, what do you want?
There's another strawberry.
I know it, Snooks. You made me excited and the rash is coming back.
Is that what it is?
Yes.
How'd you get it?
I ate something that didn't agree with me, so it comes out of my face.
Did you eat strawberries?
No, I ate fish.
You eat fish and a strawberry comes on your face?
Yes.
If you eat strawberries, will a fish come on your face?
No!
Why?
Because I'm not sensitive to strawberries, only to fish.
Oh. Daddy?
What is it?
Do fish eat strawberries?
How do I know? Leave me alone with the fish and the strawberries. I have to work.
On the machine?
Yes! Oh, gentlemen, received your strawberry of instant 15th fish and... Oh, what am I saying?
You better take some medicine, Daddy.
I don't need any medicine. I'm all right. I'm calm. I'm not excited. I think I've got a fever.
What you putting in your mouth, Daddy?
I'm going to take my temperature.
With a cigar?
Oh, am I sick? I don't know what I'm doing. Where's the thermometer?
Here, Daddy.
Oh.
Does it taste good? Can't you talk with that thing in your mouth? Oh, Daddy? I'm gonna say the letter for you in the machine. Dear Uncle Louie, my daddy is very funny. He sucks on a glass lollipop and he can make strawberries come on his face whenever he wants to.
Stop pulling on that dictaphone, Snooks! You're going to... Oh.
I think I better go out and play.
Oh. Look what you've done. The machine is wrecked and it cost me $100. Oh, I'm sick. Where's the thermometer?
You swallowed it, Daddy.
Oh, good heavens, call the doctor. I'm dying. Wait a minute. Here's the thermometer. It fell on the bed. Oh, thank heaven.
You feel better, Daddy?
Yes.
There ain't no more strawberries on your face, Daddy.
No? Really?
Now they look like tomatoes.
Oh, quick, get my medicine. That powder. Get a glass of water.
Shall I put the powder in the glass, Daddy?
Yes, not that much. Just enough to cover a dime. I'm dying.
Wait, I'll get a dime from my bank.
Oh, that dictaphone. $100. I'll never get well. Snooks, hurry with the medicine.
Here, Daddy. Drink it down.
Oh, it burns. Snooks, how much powder did you put in this glass?
Huh?
I told you only to put in enough to cover a dime.
Well, I couldn't find a dime, so I used 10 pennies.
And now, one of the greatest love songs that ever came from the pen of George and Ira Gershwin becomes a Screen Guild highlights as Martha Raye sings The Man I Love.
Someday he'll come along, the man I love, and he'll be big and strong, the man I love. And when he comes my way, I'll do my best to make him stay. Absurd. I know we both won't say a word.
Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, the Screen Guild show presents its version of that great epic of the 1890s, Fifi, the Flame of Paris, with Fanny Bryce as Mademoiselle Fifi, Martha Raye as Charmaine, Bob Hope as Henri Toulouse, and I will play the part of Jack Pot. I hope nobody hits me. Rick, will you set the scene, please? Paris. It's the spring of 1894. Mademoiselle, the idol of all France, is resting after the evening performance in her beautiful mansion atop an inaccessible mountain, singing softly as Charmaine, her maid, dresses her luxuriant hair.
I'm only a boy in a gilded cage. I'm Fifi, the glamour girl. I once had a honey with plenty of cash who called me his little pearl.
Then how come you lead a single life and still are upon the stage?
Someone else was preferred, so I got the bird, and she got the gilded cage. Charmaine! Somebody is knocking at the door. It may be a man.
Oui! I mean, oui! Mademoiselle, it must be that mystery man who has watched your performance every night for a month.
Do you think I should let him in?
Dear me, no, not in your home at this hour of the night.
It wouldn't be right, huh? Charmaine, is he handsome?
I don't know. I only saw him from the back.
Is he tall?
No, he's short.
Has he got blonde, wavy hair?
No, he is bald.
Has he got maybe a good physique?
Terrible.
Is he a man?
Yes!
Send him in! Vive la France!
Vive la France!
Wait, I'll let him in myself. You go into the other room.
All right. I'll comb your beautiful hair while I'm in there.
Good evening. I beg your pardon. I must have knocked on the wrong door. I thought this was Schultz's butcher shop.
How sly he is. A very natural mistake. He thought this was a butcher shop. What do I look like? Lamb chops?
Pardon me. I'll be on my way. I'll lay 8 to 5. She calls me right back. Goodbye.
Goodbye. I'll get him back here by dropping this wallet. Excuse me, did you drop this wallet?
Well, take your foot off and I'll see.
Oh, excuse me. If he reaches for it, I'll break his arm.
No, it's not mine, but off with this shame and pretense. Fifi, I know who you are, and I love you.
That's more like it. Won't you come in and sit down? I got plenty chairs in the room.
Yeah, so I see. Which one shall we sit on?
Come, let's sit in the Morris chair near the Murphy bed.
Okay, scram, Morris. Get out of here, Murphy. Fifi, I love you. I love you, my little French pastry.
Yeah.
You're like a piece of strawberry shortcake.
Uh-huh.
You're as sweet as strawberry jam. Your lips are like strawberry tarts.
Oh, my love. Come closer to me.
What, and get hives?
Don't worry. If I get you in my arms, you'll never break out.
Oh, that's music to my ears. Be mine and I'll make you the happiest girl in the world.
Could I try a kiss on approval?
Certainly, my sweet. Pepsodent. Will you kiss me again?
What a question. Take me. I'm a wilted pansy.
Will you fly with me?
Yes. I'll tell my maid to pack my things. Oh, Charmaine!
Yes, mademoiselle, I'm coming. You!
Curses, my fiancée, Charmaine Dreep.
Aha! The plot thickens. You know him, Charmaine?
Know him. This man lured me from Jack, my sweetheart. He promised to marry me, beat me, twisted my arm, took my money, kicked my dog, starved me, and left me waiting at the altar.
That's a lie. I never touched your dog.
How dare you talk to me like that?
23 skidoo, and I mean skidoo.
What's your language?
I am alone and hopeless. Why do you insult me?
Because you're alone and helpless.
Yes, but remember, my mother was a lady who always used her bean. She warned me that you'd leave me at the wedding ring turned green. You treated me so awful. You made it your career, but you wouldn't dare insult me, sir, if Jack were only here.
But I am here. Unhand her, you villain. That's the girl I love.
Hey, I'm over here.
Oh, hello, Charmaine. What are you doing there? Take your hands off, Fifi. The girl I love.
She's mine.
Well, what about me?
Fifi's mine, you cur, and if you want her, you'll have to spill the blood of Henri Toulouse.
Vive la France! But look out for my new rag.
Oh, fight up, boy! Break him in half, tear him in two, in la bonza!
No, there's only one way to settle this. We'll let the cards decide.
Okay, the cards. 1 game of pinochle. We'll play for Fifi's love. And on the side, 10 cents a 100.
What? Is that all you think of my honor?
All right, make it 20 cents a 100.
I still refuse to let you play pinochle for my love. Let's play bridge. We can all make some money.
All right, I'll be Fifi's partner. You do play bridge, Fifi?
Like a duck.
Fine. Well, you two hold your ears a minute. I want to set the signals with my partner.
All right, but no cheating.
All right, now listen. It's very simple. If I talk about my heart, you bid hearts. If I admire your ring, you bid diamonds. And if I say I was digging in the garden, you bid spades. If I mention the Elks, you bid clubs. Got it?
It's a cinch.
Come on. The cards are all dealt.
Oh, what is to become of me? Both the men in my life are in love with another woman. This is a fate worse than death. 1 club.
I pass.
1 heart. What do you bid, Fifi?
Let me
What's
see.
that on your finger, Fifi?
A mole.
A mole? That's the first square-cut mole I've ever seen. I miss talking about your other finger, the one with the ring. It's beautiful.
You like it? I won it in a raffle.
Pay attention, Fifi. I mean the stone and the ring.
It's as big as an elk's tooth.
Aha! Elks, 2 clubs.
No.
I pass.
2 spades.
3 hearts.
It's my turn, huh?
Here we go again. You know, what I was doing yesterday, Fifi, I was digging in my garden.
Digging in your garden?
Yes.
That's good exercise, ain't it?
Yes, you can work up a lot of steam if you have the tools to dig with. I have 3 of them.
I get it. 3 steam shovels.
Fifi, move your head over here so I can get my lips close to your ears.
You want to whisper something?
No, I want to use it for a pea shooter. Not steam shovels. Digging in my garden. Remember, spades.
Just a minute, Henri. I'm wise to you. You're cheating. Take that.
Please help! He's killed Henri!
He's dead. Oh, well, he had a rotten hand anyway.
Oh, I'm a murderer. And it's all your fault, Fifi.
My fault?
Yes. You made me what I am today. I hope you're satisfied. To please your whim, I shot at him till he curled up and died. I'll probably get what I deserve, but now that we must part, I can't help but feel that you're still a heel as the curse of an aching heart.
She made him what he is today. Let's give 3 cheers for her.
He done me dirt, that little squirt. He'll spend his life in stir.
It ain't no joke, my heart is broke.
Don't tear yourself apart. I'll be the razzmatazz of Alcatraz. That's the curse of an aching heart.
You didn't have to shoot me. You could have killed me with that song. Open in the name of the law. Hello.
Hello, officer.
Has there been a shooting in here?
Yes.
Well, you must be more quiet. The neighbors are complaining.
Now, wait, officer. I shot this man because of my love for Fifi. You must take me to prison.
Oh, oui, all right.
Wait, look! The corpse has a false mustache!
I will rip the mustache off. Voila! It is Gentleman Joe, the diamond thief. He has a 50,000 franc reward for him.
Oh, I think I'm going to faint. Quick, get me a drink of Maxwell House coffee, cool to the last drop.
The reward is yours, Charmaine, for discovering him.
Mine, oh boy!
Charmaine! I was only kidding. I'd never loved anyone but you.
Darling!
Oh, what is to become of me? One of my sweethearts is dead and the other has left me. There is only one thing left for me. Oh, gendarme!
Oui, madame.
What are you doing tonight?
Thank you, Fanny Bryce, Bob Hope, Martha Ray, and Hanley Stafford for a swell Screen Guild show.
Oh, George.
Yes, Bob.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we had a lot of fun tonight, but before we leave, I'd like to say for myself and this marvelous cast that we really enjoy doing this show. It's not only fun to be on it, but we get a thrill out of helping to achieve the aims of the Motion Picture Retirement Fund.
Good night, Bob.
Good
and
night,
remember,
George.
ladies and gentlemen, next week, same time, same station, the good golf dealer in your neighborhood joins the Gulf Oil Companies in welcoming you to another Gulf Screen Guild show. Until then, this is George Murphy speaking, saying thank you for the motion picture industry and the Gulf Oil Companies. Good night. We are grateful to MGM for George Murphy, to MGM and the Maxwell House Company Good News program for Fanny Bryce and Hanley Stafford, and to Paramount, the Pepsodent program for Bob Hope, who can be seen in Never Say Die. Will Carmichael speaking. This is the Columbia Broadcasting Company. From Hollywood, it's Old Gold cigarette time. This is Will Carmichael, ladies and gentlemen, speaking for the makers of Old Gold cigarettes, who are pleased to present the 17th in a series of new programs with Rick Pratt and his piano, starring the genial Don Amici and charming Frances Langford as the Bickersons. The Bickersons have retired. Mrs. Bickerson writhes in pathetic anguish as poor husband John, victim of progressive insomnia, or Thumper's disease, enters the critical stage of suffering an acute attack of his chronic ailment. Listen.
Like sleeping with a buzzsaw. I'm dying and he's laughing. I can't stand it anymore. John! John! Turn over on your side. Go on. John, stop it.
Stop it, Blanche. What's the matter? What time is it? What's the matter, Blanche?
It's 20 to 4 and you haven't stopped that hideous snoring since 9 o'clock. You promised you'd quit, but I think you're making a deliberate campaign to keep me awake.
Oh, campaign promise.
None of my girlfriends has a husband who draws all the dogs in the neighborhood because he yowls like an old tomcat. Do you know anyone with such trouble? Dewey?
Tom Dewey.
Very funny. You're so funny, John Bickerson.
I'm not funny, Blanche. I'm sleepy.
You're always sleepy. I wouldn't care if you slept 30 hours a day, but I'm not going to stand for that snoring any longer.
It's just your imagination. I never snore, and you know it.
Never snore. The second day of our honeymoon, I couldn't even hear the falls.
What are you beefing about? A lot of brides never even hear them. Not everybody goes to Niagara, you know.
You better change habits, John, or I'm warning you. Someday you'll wake up and find yourself sleeping in an empty bed.
What?
You know what I mean. I'm not going to spend another night suffering through this kind of torture.
Oh, stop magnifying it. Maybe I do breathe a little heavy.
You don't breathe. You giggle. You grunt. You whine. You rasp. How can I sleep?
Put your head under the covers.
I did, but there's a hole in the blanket and your snores leak through.
Well, go sleep in the other room.
You know very well I can't sleep in the other room. What about Clara and the baby?
Let him go to a hotel. What right has your broken down sister got to drag that kid of hers from New York and steal my bedroom? Why must I sleep in the kitchen?
It's little enough to ask. Even if she wasn't my sister, you should have more consideration for the mother with a poor little 8-day-old infant.
Little? He's a monster. That kid weighs 41 pounds. You told me so yourself.
That's with his clothes on.
Oh, he only wears a diaper. There isn't another 8-day-old kid in the world who'd wear 41 pounds soaking wet.
He's a perfectly healthy, normal child. He can't help it if he's big. His mother and father are big.
Big what?
I think he's adorable. And if you'd only break down and be human, you'd love him too. You're the most stubborn man in the world, John. I'm ashamed to tell Clara that you won't even look at George.
Who's George?
The baby.
George, that's his name?
Certainly, it's a wonderful name. Sounds so mannish.
Oh, nobody calls a baby George. That's for Pullman porters. What kind of a baby is called George? I never heard of such a thing.
Well, I like it. And I'm going out tomorrow and buy him a whole lit.
Oh, what for?
Because Clara can't afford it. He's my nephew, and it doesn't look right for the child to sleep in your shirt.
My shirt? Is that elephant sleeping in my shirt? It's the only clean shirt I've got. How do you expect me to wear it in the morning?
George is very neat. He won't wrinkle it.
I swear, Blanche, I don't know why I let you push me around like this. I'm a good husband. I work hard for a living. I don't ask for any luxuries. And you sacrifice my last bit of comfort for your sister.
Well, sisters are thicker than husbands.
You can say that again. Nobody's thicker than your sister Clara. She's got as much shape as a boxcar. Why doesn't her husband make her go on a diet?
Because he likes her the way she is, in one big lump.
Well, I'm telling you now, Blanche, this is the last night I sleep in the kitchen.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm not threatening you. Just put out the light and let me go to sleep.
No, I want to talk to you.
I don't feel like talking.
You mean you don't feel like talking to me, but I'll bet the minute you get down to the office, you'll jabber your head off. I'd give anything to know what you men talk about.
The same as you women.
Oh, you horrible things! And I thought it was all business.
It is business.
No wonder you don't get anywhere. Everyone makes a good salary except you. Why don't you get a better paying job?
Oh, now don't go maligning my job. I got a $15 raise only last week.
Well, it isn't enough. The minute I ask you for extra few dollars, you jump down my throat.
Listen, last month you went to the doctor 3 times. You got fitted for glasses. You had 2 teeth pulled. $70 for your own private pleasure. You think I'm made of money?
You're the one who wastes it. You throw it away on silly things.
Oh, what silly things?
Didn't you spend $25 on that fire extinguisher?
Certainly.
Well, you've had it a whole year and never used it once.
Well, I'll set fire to the house in the morning. Good night, Blanche.
If you had any ambition, we'd have a home of our own long ago and not have to live in these 2 skimpy rooms. You'd better get yourself a new set of friends, John, instead of hanging around with those shiftless people at your office. How would you like if I associated with my inferiors?
I don't know. I never met any of your inferiors.
That's a nice thing to say, John.
Well, I'm sleepy.
If you'd have spoken with me like that while we were engaged, I would have never married you.
Now she tells me.
Believe me, I'm finding out plenty. The things you told me when I first met you. Such promises. Before we were married, you told me you were well off.
I was, but I didn't know it. Blanche, why don't you let me get some sleep? Whether you like my job or not, I still have to get up in the morning and go to work.
Well, you've got to promise to get acquainted with some nice people. You should belong to a lodge or something. Why don't you join the Elks, John?
I'll join next week.
You say it, but you won't do it. Why don't you join now?
What?
Go on, get up and join the Elks.
Are you out of your mind? It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
You'd join the Elks soon enough if Gloria Gooseby asked you to.
Now don't start with Gloria Gooseby.
If you were married to her, she'd scream so loud you'd give up in a hurry.
She always screams and I never give up. I mean, I hate Gloria Gooseby and I forbid you to mention her name again. Do you hear me?
Keep quiet, you'll wake the baby.
Ah, what do I care?
You'll only have to rock him back to sleep.
I'll be glad to. Where's a rock?
John!
Well, stop driving me crazy with that Gooseby dame. And why do I have to put the kid to sleep if he wakes up? Where's his mother?
She couldn't stand your snoring, so she went to an all-night movie. Is it 4 o'clock yet?
It's 5 after.
The baby has to be fed.
Well, what are you looking at me for?
Get up and fix his formula. Everything's on the stove. Just turn the light on under the Presto cooker.
I don't know how to feed him. Let him come in and eat it out of the pot.
He doesn't eat, he drinks. And he uses an old-fashioned nursing bottle. Fix it, John.
Okay, where's the bourbon?
Bourbon? What do you want bourbon for?
To make an old-fashioned.
What's the matter with you, John? How can you give a baby bourbon? It's only 8 days old.
It is not. It's over 6 months and aged in the wood. Look at the label.
I'm talking about the baby.
Oh. Well, what do you want me to do, Blanche?
Just light the stove and let the formula get warm. You don't even have to get off the cot. Just reach behind you.
Okay. You better watch it. I gotta get some sleep. Good night.
John? I wish you'd go in and look at George. He's really very sweet. You couldn't possibly be angry or short-tempered if you just spent a little time with him.
Tomorrow.
Maybe that's why we're not happy, John.
We're happy.
No, there's something missing. All of our friends have such fun with their children. I mean, the Goosebees have a baby, the Shaws have a baby, and now Clara has a baby. Everybody has a baby.
Blanche, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. Can't you tell me about it tomorrow?
Oh, don't be so irritable. There was a time when you could listen to me all night.
I'm still doing it.
Well, it's your own fault. I wouldn't talk so much if you were a little more attentive to me. You never take me out dancing or to a show or even to a restaurant for dinner.
Oh.
Before we were married, you used to take me to nightclubs and buy me champagne and caviar. Why don't you do it anymore?
No good.
Why?
It's like buying oats for a dead horse.
How can you talk like that? But it doesn't surprise me the way you've been acting lately. You probably can't stand the sight of me. It's true, isn't it?
I wouldn't say that.
Why not, John?
I'd be up for the rest of the night.
I know you feel just the same. You don't love me.
Blanche, I do.
You do not. You don't love me half as much as you used to.
Blanche, I do.
Then say it.
I love you half as much as I used to. Now, will you let me get some sleep?
John, if I'm to blame because we fight so much, I wish you'd tell me.
You're not to blame.
Then why don't we get along? You used to be so crazy about me. You used to call me the light of your life.
Put the light out.
No, I'm not going to let you sleep until you come in and look at the baby. That'll change your attitude.
Well, I guess I have no alternative. Come on. Do you want me to take his grub in?
Yes, turn off the stove. I'll fix the bottle.
Now, where is he?
Shh. Right there in the crib. Don't let the light shine on him. Isn't he a doll?
He looks just like Clara. Turn him over and let me see his face.
This is his face.
Oh.
Look at him lying there like a little cherub. So innocent in sleep. Soon he'll be walking, and in a little while he'll begin to talk. He'll say such sweet things. Then his first day at school, he'll be so scared. Maybe he'll be a wonderful scholar or a great athlete. He'll grow into manhood, handsome and strong. He might be a doctor or a lawyer. He might even grow up to be President of the United States. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
What are you thinking of, darling?
How can they make a crib like that for $3.98?
Good night, John.
Good night, Blanche.
Remember, next Friday at Old Gold Time, it'll be Don Amici and Francis Langford with Rick Pratt and his piano. Brought to you by P. Lorillard Company, a famous name in tobacco for nearly 200 years. Makers of Old Gold cigarettes, the treasure of them all. And listen, if you want a treat instead of a treatment, treat yourself to Old Golds. Buy them at your tobacco counters. Buy them in cigarette vending machines. Don't forget, every Friday night on CBS, it's fun for the family. Stay tuned now for the adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, which follows immediately over most of these stations. This is Will Carmichael speaking. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
And let's have our entire cast stand up for a bow. I'd like to introduce Terry Miles, Mary Zastrow, Keith Martin, Eileen Marie Scott, Tammy Trujillo. Todd Tickner. Skylar Ingram. And Will Carmichael. I'm your SS sound effects man, Steve Carlson. Here is Carrie Janelle. I was trying to find him. Our executive producer.
Let's hear it for this wonderful cast one more time.